So Hunter Biden has been found guilty on all three charges, and it's been very entertaining watching Maga try to put their spin on this one. But before we get to that, I want to read to you Joe Biden's response to all of it. He had this to say: "As I said last week, I am the president, but I am also a dad. Jill and I love our son, and we are so proud of the man he is today. So many families who have loved ones battle addiction understand the feeling of pride seeing someone you love come out the other side and be so strong and resilient in recovery. As I also said last week, I will accept the outcome of this case and will continue to respect the judicial process as Hunter considers an appeal. Jill and I will always be there for Hunter and the rest of our family with love and support. Nothing will ever change that." As someone who's battled addiction myself, when I read that, I hear the voice of a loving father trying to reassure his son that everything's going to be okay. That's what I really hear, because I know this has to be very stressful and trying on Hunter whenever you're in recovery and you're trying to do better and you're trying to live clean. I can't imagine what it would be like to just have my name dragged in the mud every day of my life and just demonized like I'm the biggest villain, like I'm Darth Vader 2.0 or something. I can imagine that Joe Biden is concerned about his son and thinking, I really hope none of this triggers him, so I'm going to let him know that no matter what, I'm still proud of him. I'm still in his corner. You know, that's the kind of decent human being that Joe Biden is, and that's why I just have so much respect for him, the way that he always goes out of his way to make sure that his son knows he's proud. I can't stress enough how much recovering addicts needs to hear those kind of things. They need to hear support, because it gets so dark at times that you say to yourself, I'm never going to make it out. And when you look up to your father, which most men do, you know, and you're always looking to him for guidance, and I don't think people realize just how much those words of encouragement can pull an addict through. And that's why I get so offended when I see them just constantly demonizing Hunter as the worst human being in the world. It's as though they're wanting him to slip and fall so they can just make a news story out of it. And it's all sick and twisted to me, because I really feel that all of this is just a distraction from the convicted felon that they have as their presumptive nominee, and they're trying to paint and vilify anyone else they can. But of course, Donald Trump chimed in, and he had this ridiculous post to make. "This trial has been nothing more than a distraction from the real crimes of the Biden crime family, which has raked in tens of millions of dollars from China, Russia, and Ukraine. Crooked Joe Biden's reign over the Biden criminal empire is all coming to an end on November 5th, and never again will a Biden sell government access for personal profit." So according to Forbes, Donald Trump raked in $2.4 billion in profit while he was president between 2017 and 2021. And Jared Kushner raked in $2 billion from the Saudis, and you never hear him bring that up. So I think it's pretty ironic that he would go there and try to talk about someone profiting off the government when that's exactly what he's done this entire time. But all the MAGA cultists, they all fell in line, and now they're all spinning it that this is all a distraction. One of his biggest fanboys, Charlie Kirk, had this to say: "Hunter Biden guilty, yawn. The true crimes of the Biden crime family remain untouched. This is a fake trial to make the justice system appear balanced. Don't fall for it." So this is how they're going to spin it. Joe Biden had his own son get convicted to hide their real crime. So this was all a fake trial. Once again, somehow this is all rigged against Donald Trump, and it's all rigged against MAGA. And Jim McGovern just nails it in this next clip. This is truly cult-like thinking.
And as usual, the only Trump derangement syndrome going on around here is on the other side of the aisle. I mean, people are saying that Biden orchestrated the conviction of his own son in order to justify the criminal charges against Trump. That is how you think when you are in a cult. So here's the bottom line. Republicans just can't wrap their heads around the idea that their presidential candidate, your presumptive nominee, is a convicted felon. That is not the result of a sham process or some vast conspiracy by the Biden administration. That is the result of the truth. And these attacks on our justice system have to come to a stop. They are dangerous, they are irresponsible, they are nothing but false conspiracy theories being pushed to try and excuse the actions of the former president, and they are made even more absurd by the outcome of the trial this morning in Delaware.
You know, Maga is really starting to remind me of the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray, where the same thing just keeps happening over and over again every day. They're becoming so predictable with all this, because if you go back to January 6th, leading up to that, they said they were going to stop a steal. They were going to go up there, they were going to take their country back. These people actually thought they could take a vacation day from work, jump in their Dodge Dually covered in flags, drive to the Capitol, overthrow the government, and come back home and go to work like nothing ever happened. And when they got up there and all hell broke loose and they were on camera and you can see them with their feet on Pelosi's desk and everything else, oh, well, that wasn't us. That wasn't us, that was Antifa. They were just dressed up like us, trying to make us look bad. And you're sitting there going, why would Antifa dress up like you to go overturn an election that they won? That makes no sense whatsoever. And now here we are, same scenario. Oh, Hunter Biden, man, it's all rigged against Trump. They'll rig it for Hunter. Hunter will never be found guilty of nothing because his daddy's in charge. He won't never let that happen to his own son. And then it happens to his own son. His own son's a convicted felon. And now what do they say? Oh, it was rigged against us. Yeah, Joe Biden done that to make it look like that it was fair and balanced. It's all rigged against us. At the end of the day, whenever the news breaks, just know that MAGA is going to find a way to make themselves the victim, and they're going to find a way to say that everything was rigged against them. But, you know, I hope Hunter appeals this verdict, and I wish him well. I really hope that he stays strong and realizes that these are just some really cruel, cold-hearted people that wants to see him fail for political gain, and they're sick in the head. They truly are. I know he's worked really hard to stay clean, and I wish him the best, because I know this has to be, I mean, I can't imagine. I just sit back and I get triggered just watching him be mistreated. I can't imagine what it would be like to try to walk a mile in his shoes. But the one thing that I've said so many times is that Hunter Biden is a private citizen. He has no say in his father's administration. He is not producing bills that takes away rights from people. He's not running for any office. He doesn't hold any office. He has no say over our lives whatsoever. You know, the crimes that Hunter Biden did, he did to himself, and he's paying for it himself. It didn't affect anyone else. The crimes Donald Trump has committed has affected this entire country. When you try to overturn an election that you knew you lost, and you try to install fake electors, that's something that is complete apples and oranges as to what Hunter did. And you know what they're going to do too. They're going to play both sides of this like they always do. Going back to January 6th, well, it was Black Lives Matter and it was Antifa, but they also play we had every right to do it. They're going to do the same thing with Hunter Biden. They're going to say it's all rigged and it's all fake, but he's a convicted felon and Joe Biden's the father of a convicted felon. So they'll play both sides of the fence. They'll play both sides of the aisle, and it's truly disgusting. I'm voting for Joe Biden, not Hunter Biden. I'm pulling for Hunter Biden. I hope he makes it through all this, and I hope he stays strong, hope he stays clean. But I'm voting for Joe Biden because Joe Biden is on the side with democracy. You see, Hunter Biden has never said that he would terminate the Constitution, and he has no power to do so. Hunter Biden has never said he would be dictator on day one, and he has no power to do so. So that's why that those of us on the left aren't throwing a temper tantrum over Hunter Biden. And the whole reason that the people on the right are throwing such a temper tantrum and trying to make it all about them and everything's rigged and they're the victims and all of this is to distract from the real criminal that is their presumptive nominee.